This is the Altiplano of Bolivia. We're at about 13,000 feet and our bus broke down. So we're hiking up to a site called Cotimbo. It's the best way to go anyway. You don't want to be driven everywhere. You want to have to explore. And so the site is up here. And it contains these towers called chulpas, supposedly funerary towers, but we're going to go and see for ourselves and let you explore with us. So this is our first chulpa, and it's not that well made. It has a hole in it here that goes in. So this is probably a funeral, very small funeral tower. So the confusion at a site like this, which this phenomenon is quite common, is you'll find really well-built things and then some rather poorly built ones like that, and some academics might attribute both of them to the same culture, the same time period. But what we're probably going to see is much more finely made ones farther up here. So, we're near the top of the plateau, and here we're coming up to two of the chulpas. So what'll be interesting to see is the execution of these two. Are they just random stacked stones like the one below, or are they finer? Well, we'll see in about 10 seconds, if I live that long. Look at that. Look how beautiful that joinery is. Mortar-free. Stone on top of stone. What's interesting about this one is the execution of this is amazing. The joinery is phenomenal. The stone size is huge. And then you have these depictions of pumas. Here one going to the right. Here two coming out from the stone. And here one on the left. And technically they're really childish, whereas the execution of the stonework is stupendous. So we were kind of wondering if it's possible that the pumas were carved later, but the stone is so ancient looking and the carving is so ancient looking. It's really odd. Now we want to explore the interior of this huge square one. So this is inside of the chulpa.
I mean, first they cut down the trees and made charcoal.
Right up there. Right there.
You see the trapezoids.
And is there another one over
that,
here? See that one right there, David?
Related
Yeah,
to Inca.
yeah, look at that,
There.
yeah.
Right?
Almost like a
We got a
little-
ledge.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Do we
It's
have
a
any?
cupped ledge.
Yes, it's cupped.
I wonder if a
yes.
block just came out of that, or I guess.
So actually, kind of the strange thing about that square one is that it's completely hollow, whereas the ones at Silistani, especially the round ones, are only hollow about a third to a halfway up, and we'll see that in another video, because we'll see a cross section of one since it was partially destroyed, and it's very complex in the way it was built. It doesn't appear that it was built as a funeral tower. It may have been used as a funeral tower hundreds or thousands of years after it was constructed, but the initial construction seems to have a more pragmatic and possibly energetic function. But we'll see that in a video that I'll make for you about Silistani, which is actually reasonably close to here, maybe 2 hours drive. And now we have a dowser who's going to show us an energy crossover point. Right. So this is the crossing point of two lines.
Well, it's the most powerful spot. The lines are very wide, so
right.
there's a 30-meter band that way, and 55-meter band that way. But this is actually where the strongest energy I can feel anyways.
Huh.
Is just outside
Just outside the door.
the door. But the whole chamber would be within the crossing of the two lines.
Uh-huh. So look at the interior. You see the tower flares outwards from the bottom, which is not a smart practice in terms of construction, but it was clearly deliberate. Then also there's like a beehive shape coming up about 2/3 of the way up, and then empty space. This is an energy spot, very ancient, and the energy is still there. The question is, energy for what?